Hello everyone, thank you once again for tuning into my channel. So today I made fried and baked chin chin without water and no eggs, and the taste are amazing, crunchy and delicious. So enjoy this video. For this recipe I used 1 kg of all-purpose flour, 125 gram of sugar, 20 gram of salt and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Then after that I went ahead to add liquid milk, okay, and added 1 tablespoon of butterscotch flavor and 1 teaspoon of milk zest. Yes, I was supposed to add my butter or my margarine before adding all this, but I forgot, so I just added the margarine after adding all those. So I added 120 grams of margarine or butter. Then I made sure that I combine everything to form a soft dough. So you need to be adding the milk gradually so that you don't add too much at a time, because you want this milk to mix up everything. So after adding the first 300 grams of milk, I added extra 200 grams of milk. So lastly, I added 1 tablespoon of condensed milk. This condensed milk, I should have added it earlier while I was adding the milk and all that, but I just remembered it, so I added the condensed milk and made sure that I kneaded everything thoroughly. And once it's ready, I cover this to rest for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it's time for shaping, cutting, and cutting. So make sure you flatten your chin chin and you roll it out flat, thin, but not too thin, because you don't want this chin chin to be too thick and you want it to be crunchy. So you need to roll it out very well, but not too much, because if you roll it out too much, by the time you start frying it, it will fry fast, but it will be so thin that you may not like it anyway. But just make it a little bit thin, and so that by the time it fries, it will swell a bit and also become crunchy. So I decided to cut this chin chin into different shapes and different designs, like about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 different designs anyway, or 5, I don't know. I cut it into cubes, into slants, into long stripes, into I made a kind of design also, then cut it into um flat bits, something like that. I don't know, like up to like 5 designs anyway. So this was one of the designs I gave it. Okay, so after cutting the chin chin, the next thing was to fry the chin chin. So for the quantity of the milk used in this recipe, I bought like 4 milk tins, like tin milk or canned milk. So I use about 3 and a little bit from the last one. So just buy them like 4 and keep them, because you'll be needing them for this recipe, unless you are not making this exact recipe. So for the baked one, I placed it in a non-stick wrap. You can also use a cling film, or you can use a baking paper to flatten it out, because I don't want to pour some flour on it, because I'll be baking it. Okay, I don't want at the end of baking it will use flour all over it. So that is why I had to use the non-stick wrap to roll it out, then cut it. Okay, then transferred it onto my baking tray lined with a baking paper, and I was ready to bake this in preheated oven at 180 degrees for 35 minutes. And for the fried one, I make sure that my oil was heated up, then I reduce it to medium heat, and then transferred my chin chin into the oil. So you'll be transferring the chin chin gradually. Once you finish baking frying the first batch, you have to take down the oil, let the oil gets cold, or maybe the heat to reduce again, then before transferring back onto the heat. Else, if you don't do it like that, the next batch will brown quickly and they will not turn out crunchy and they will not turn out well. So you need to fry this on a medium heat gradually till light golden brown. And once that is gotten, you will take this chin chin out of the oil, place on a tissue paper or a clean kitchen towel, and once the oil is drained, spread out the chin chin to dry. So this one, the baked one, as you can see, and it's very very crunchy and tastes good as well. So my chin chin are ready, as you can see in the video, and this last one is the one that I baked in my preheated oven at 180 degree for 35 minutes, or you can bake at 200 for 30 minutes. So thanks for watching and see you in my next video.